In order for there to be racial equity, there has to be diversity. And we're running the risk of creating a community that lacks that. Webster has a reputation of being just for wealthy people or just for rich people, you know. But when the reality is, there's certain parts of Webster, we all know the big, beautiful mansions and all of that, but all around that are hardworking people, whether it's North Webster, South Webster, Tuxedo Park, you know, and it's just becoming increasingly difficult for people to be able to afford to live here. There's a gentrification that's going on, and not only in North Webster, but and gentrification is not just about race, it's also about finances. So the same challenge that we experience in North Webster, they also experience in South Webster from an economical perspective.
The term, it takes a village, that's how I was raised. You know, if I got in trouble up the street, then I got in trouble 3 more times before I got home. But I appreciated that. And I lived in Atlanta for about 13 years and I moved back home. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to come home, was I missed that community, that working together and that love and that just, that, you know, it was a huge extended family to me. That's what I missed. The history of North Webster, it goes back to the late 1800s. The first African-American settlers, Mr. Brown, was right over by Old Community. I actually know some of his descendants, Mr. Brown's descendants. We're the friends of the family. The very, very first school was started for slave children by a woman who felt like the kids should be educated. So technically the first school in Webster Groves was for slave children. If you want the community that you say that you want, then it's important for you to be a part and to do your part within that community.
When we talk about the American dream, for a lot of people, the American dream involves home ownership. And that is part of how we think about ourselves as a society. So number one, it's provides some access for everyone to a little portion of that traditional definition of the American dream. I think for a lot of families, though, it's one way that you build wealth, that you also then from generation to generation can pass on some wealth to your children. And not everybody has access to that opportunity in our society, and we want to maintain in our community the access to the ability to pass on that wealth in your family and maintain it and accumulate a little bit of it. A community land trust is a vehicle to help people get into home ownership while also keeping those homes affordable to a wide range of people. And the way it works is the trust owns the land, but the homeowner owns the house. And so you get to build some wealth when you sell the house, but because the land is maintained by the trust, that's how land trusts keep things affordable. So Webster Groves right now has a really wide range of housing price points. You can buy a house for $75,000. You can buy a house for $1.2 million if you want to. And that's what makes us a great community, is there's that diversity of economic standing and people living with others both like them and not quite like them. And the land trust helps us make sure that those houses at the lower price point are maintained, that they keep at that accessible price point as opposed to becoming knocked down infill housing that is much more expensive.
The benefit of a land trust would be to create a vehicle to assist in obtaining some of these properties that are excellent properties with no need to tear them down. You know, good bones, good structure that can be renovated and then remain accessible and affordable to, hardworking, middle-income families. And that's what I think a land trust would help us to do.
I would respond to people who feel like we should just let the market decide, is that would continue to drive the wealth gap further and further apart. The market is inequitable. And if you truly want diversity, then you're gonna have to have other ways than just the conventional means to become homes. You have some older residences who have been here for generations who now would love to stay, but their property taxes are going up too much. And they can't afford them anymore. The point is to have varied and different ways for people to A, be able to get a home, or B, remain in their home. And C, I'll add on, help fix up homes, for our older generation who, perhaps can't function financially the way that they used to because they're on a fixed income, or maybe they can't get out and get on their roof and help fix it and things like that. So there needs to be ways for other people to be able to live in Webster.
One of the interesting things about our North Webster coalition is I believe that the very good and strong relationship we have with the city council and with Mayor Welch has really made people feel very comfortable getting involved in things going on in the city. People don't hesitate to bring ideas forward. So if you really want your voice to be heard and you want your opinion to matter, establishing that relationship with the city administrators and representatives is key. And I think organizations like ours are a way to do that. And I think what I've learned over the years is that 99.9% of people want a job so that they can provide for their family, so their family has a safe place to live, and their kids have a chance at a decent education. That's what people want, period. And how they go about getting that is different for different people, but I think everybody needs the opportunity to have that. Everybody needs a chance to do that.
I think if you choose to live this close to the city of St. Louis, then you cannot hoard the resources for this region and close your town off. You have to be porous, you have to be connected. This is all of our city. We cannot stand for the kind of inequality that exists across zip codes in this immediate metro area. And I don't think people here want to stand for that anymore. I think they want to be connected. They want to feel a sense of community, that we take care of each other. That means not closing your borders. That means allowing a range of income levels and paying attention so that a range of income levels can live here. The people who are taking care of your kids at school, the people who are, you want those people to be able to be your neighbors and not be like, yeah, I'm good with your help, but you can't live here. That's not the kind of place that I want to live. The more we can be connected to each other, push each other, and then raise our voices, like when the city council is trying to do something, or any of our little 3 towns, to me, that's just been like the most vibrant and healing, wonderful part of raising a family here.
There's nothing like coming home and knowing that it's yours. A home is more than a building. It's not just the walls and the roof over your head. It's what you do in the home. It's how you raise your kids. It's how you show love, the kind of food you cook in your home. It's the different traditions that you make or pass down. It's all of that. It's the American dream, if you will.